Well, greetings, our dear viewers of the Uganda Catholic Television. I welcome you once again to the Weekend Edition. My name is Joseph Kabale. This 8th of March 2026. You're watching Uganda Catholic Television, and I'm presenting to you a very important or pertinent topic, the mental health crisis we are experiencing as a country. You remember last week, the National Planning Authority released the Uganda Population Report 2025, in which it indicated that all the sub-regions in the country have experienced a surge in cases of mental health as have been reported countrywide. Yeah, we had the South Uganda, where we have districts like Karungu, Rakai, Masaka, Bukoma, Simbi, and other districts. They took the lion's share, if I must say. It recorded over 500% an increase in cases of mental health reported in the year between 2021 to 2024. It rose from, I could refer to the statistics, it rose from 32,216 in 2021 to 191,961. That is something we should worry about. In the second position, we had the Karamoja sub-region, which had an increase of 270%, loosely translating to 5,059 cases reported in 2021 to 18,719 cases in 2024. Then Busoga came in the third position. It was only Buked sub-region that kind of resisted that trend, and they had a drop by 12%. This is something to worry about, and that informs our decision to have this discussion tonight. I've been joined by the able guest. He is Mr. Albert Elwa, the director of Focus on Recovery Uganda. He's also a professional, an addiction profession, a counselor, and he has so many. He has been in this service for close to 10 years or so. And I'm sure we shall have the very best of tonight's discussion. For this moment, allow me to invite him to say hi to our viewers. Then we shall have this discussion started. You're welcome, Mr. Albert.
Thank you,
Thank you
Joseph.
so much for making time. If you don't mind, you could greet our viewers, then we start right away.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, viewers.
All right. We are experiencing a surge in mental health disorders, as have been reported by the National Planning Authority. What do you take of this? What informs all this surge? Have we done something bad? Or is it true we are experiencing this insurgence, or it could be just that we're just getting better in recognizing and reporting this mental health?
I believe it's true. First of all, we are also seeing a huge population surge or explosion. You know, Ugandans are giving birth at a very high rate. Numbers have increased, and yet services per se do not meet these numbers. Now, we are in a situation whereby the country churns out about 600,000 graduates per year. All these expect to go into employment, but the biggest majority are hanging on the streets. Definitely, this is a recipe for stress, anxiety, depression. You know, you're growing up, you're being told that education is the key to success. You get your degree after studying hard, and then there is no employment.
You've wasted a lot of resources in education.
Yes. So we are seeing a serious problem of unemployment and even underemployment. We are having graduates now riding borders.
He's employed, but
underemployed. This is not what he was trained to do. This is not what he wanted to do. You see? Or because he has to make ends meet, he will just give in to any kind of job and take whatever is offered. So this is also a key driver of mental health challenges in this country. But then also we are having a huge problem of substance abuse. If you saw some of the statistics I think last year and the previous year, Uganda topped Africa in terms of per capita intake of alcohol annually. You see, so we are drinking so much alcohol in this country. First of all, there are so many factors that are causing us to take take this alcohol and these substances. One of them that even culturally, a lot of our people come from cultures where alcohol is a celebratory drink.
Yeah, I have a friend who said even a kid, even a baby, just after being born, he must taste some
cultures still do that. But you find that alcohol is so embedded in our culture such that when we are happy, when we are celebrating, we are drinking. But even when we are sad, we have lost someone.
Even when we are depressed.
Exactly, we are using, you see. So one of the key drivers of mental health challenges in this country is substance abuse. There are so many drugs. In my times, if you took weed, then even your colleagues would know that man smokes weed. For us, it was mainly tobacco and alcohol. Though a few of our colleagues smoked weed. But now, I see in today's trend, marijuana is like a cigarette. And yet marijuana, in my books, is the #1 oppressor of the prefrontal cortex, which is your thinking brain, in charge of your executive functions.
Marijuana.
Yes, what we commonly call weed. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for your decision making, your judgment, basically your daily thinking, a bit of your memory, all your executive function.
But how do we get to a situation whereby you took something, you consumed the marijuana to get excited? Some people, I had a friend at campus, for her she would do whatever she tasted, whatever she took, whatever she smoked, she would feel happy, and she would say, I cannot get excited, I cannot even learn anything and understand without perhaps smoking. Then how do we get to the, how does it bring in this kind of mental health disorders?
You know, if we go into a bit of science, these drugs, #1, directly affect the production of a chemical called dopamine in the brain. Now, dopamine is a chemical that is very important for our day-to-day activities. #1, even for your emotional regulation, dopamine. For your motivation, new motivation to even go to school, to do things, dopamine. Your pleasure, it is the one that is responsible for you feeling good when you eat food, take water, have sex, buy new shoes. That is dopamine, you see. So these drugs go and hijack the functions. These are the functions that usually trigger the release of this chemical, and they become in charge.
They come and take over.
Yes. So now, when these functions are hijacked, then you find that your motivation is affected. You find that your emotions are affected. Somebody is becoming very irritable, very angry. They can no longer do what they used to do. Your memory is affected, and then also your thinking is affected. So they take charge of those key functions of your brain that ideally make you function like a normal person. That is simply it. If we go into the deep function of dopamine and how the drugs eventually hijack, we may exhaust all our time here discussing that. But in a nutshell, that's what happened. So back to what you had earlier on asked. Yeah, I think we are having unemployment, basically poverty, substance abuse, also trauma. Yes, trauma is a key driver of mental health challenges. Trauma like from domestic violence, people are couples are fighting left and right. These fights not only affect the fighting spouses, even the kids.
It gets back.
Yeah, I mean, even the kids are fighting. You're seeing your parents fighting every day, you see. And in most cases where you find there's a violent spouse, they are not only violent towards the spouse, even towards the kids, you know. And this affects their mental health. They're stressed. They're anxious every time dad is coming back. People are panicking. So what is going to happen this time?
Yes.
You know, then there is also trauma just from loss. We are seeing in our facilities, we are seeing increased cases of complicated grief from loss of loved ones. Maybe a parent, a child, you know, a spouse, you know. Then of course when you're having all these things and then the parents are maybe divorced for this or that, or they are separated, then even the absence of the parent renders the children vulnerable. So they begin to struggle with separation anxiety, depression and all. These are all recipes for serious mental health challenges. Yeah. So there are so many drivers. Then we have young people who are migrating from up country, coming to Kampala with so many expectations. Then there is a serious clash between
their expectations and the reality.
You come, because in our villages, for example, men are highly respected. You come here, it's a different. There is some sort of equality that has now, you know, come into place. So you have to respect everyone. And then you're going to certain circles, you're here a man and you're probably also being approached by a fellow man. Certain organizations, though I like that in the last, I don't know how many months, the trend kind of stagnated or went down. So there are all these are contributors to stress and anxiety. You're filling in papers nowadays, you're questioned about your own gender.
Jesus Christ. There is a provision for you whether to say
yes. So that you develop an identity crisis.
What is society?
Yeah. So there are a lot of challenges in today's society that are affecting people in so many ways. So I am not really shocked
to wake up to this kind of increase.
Yes. If you read that very report, it will show that the number of cases reported in mental health facilities like ours and Butabika have shot up by 71%. And yet there are centers mushrooming every other time. You get? So it tells...
But from your rich experience, what is the most predominant causes? Or perhaps you first take us through the forms or the types or the categories of these mental health disorders for the viewers to first understand.
There are quite many disorders. First of all, for example, there are mood disorders like depression, where somebody is abnormally sad. Their moods are so low, they are neglecting themselves, they stop doing the things that they love. And you know, what we call clinical depression. Somebody has, that doesn't mean if somebody is sad, just sad, maybe 1-2 days, that's depression. No, it has to be clinically diagnosed or proven that the person has depression. So depression falls under mood disorders. We also have like bipolar disorder. And I can tell you that we are having increasing cases of bipolar in
bipolar disorder.
Yes. Now, this is a situation whereby somebody is affected by flipping moods. Now, there is bipolar where you find that somebody is more inclined, if they're off medication, for example, then their moods go down and they are quite depressed. Then there is the other type of bipolar where somebody is inclined to mania. Off his medication, then find somebody over talking, is over drinking. He can even get all his money and distribute enter his car and drive like, you know.
Could even cause an accident.
Yes. So he's in the state of mania. So hyper and everything, talking so fast and everything. Now, bipolar, I remember when I got into this practice, majority of the cases we were getting were naturally occurring. They were genetic. You find that maybe it's inherited from a family member.
Something to do with inheritance.
But nowadays, we have an increasing number of our patients who are struggling with drug-induced bipolar, substance-induced bipolar, either from overconsumption of alcohol or marijuana and some of these other drugs. There is an increasing, the increasing numbers. So
can we say it is now the most predominant?
No. I wouldn't say that. It is both ways, but genetics still I think take the biggest share. And then of course we have people who are genetically predisposed, but it was triggered by the substances.
The overconsumption.
Yes. So from mood disorders, we also have psychotic disorders, like schizophrenia. The kind of people you see on the roads, and we are calling them madmen. You know, that is a very stigmatizing language. These are psychotic disorders, schizophrenia. Somebody has lost their ability to function well mentally. And it could be, one, genetics. 2, we are also having an increased number of substance-induced psychosis or schizophrenia. Somebody just starts seeing things that are not there, talking alone. You know, you find him just feeling like, you know, the insects moving all over.
Yeah, the people we see on the streets.
And for us, we are going to see them talking alone or laughing alone. You're like, I think their home people have sent him things or something. Usually, we are quick to run to witchcraft. No, but this is mental illness, and the number, or one of the leading causes today is drug use, and the drug that carries the biggest percentage of that is weed.
Weed.
Yes. So those are, we've talked of mood disorders, we've talked of psychotic disorders. We also have substance-related disorders, addiction.
Addiction.
Yes, you know, with addiction now, it is bi-directional. Some of these conditions we are talking about, schizophrenia, bipolar, depression, can lead people to start using substances to cope. Then they develop an addiction. But also using of these substances, for example, alcohol, can lead to depression. Can also lead to some of the things we talked about, schizophrenia, bipolar, and so are the drugs. So it's a two-way. We have personality disorders. You've heard of narcissists. Narcissistic
when you was born a narcissist, should we say?
Yeah, you've dealt with narcissists, you say. You know how difficult it is to deal with narcissists. But now there is narcissistic personality disorder, there is borderline personality disorder, you know. There is histrionic personality. There's several different disorders. So if we are to talk about types of mental illness, there are so many. Dissociative, you know. There are so many, but I would prefer we dwell on what is most common before we go into
what is most common. Actually, before we go that far, what could be some of the signs? Someone could be watching, they don't know, they could be victims. What could be some of the symptoms someone should look out for and perhaps tell is a victim and really needs help?
Yeah, you know, for example, let's look at like anxiety disorders, abnormal worry. Someone just has a feeling like something bad is about to happen. And it becomes so overwhelming that you cannot function normally. You will not go to work.
They cannot do anything
yes,
because they are worried.
You have this feeling of impending doom constantly. If you have if you're experiencing something like that, seek help. Talk to someone. abnormally low mood. Even when you try something, even people talk to you, but your mood is
It's just down.
Just down. You're no longer interested in the things that you used to love. You want to keep to yourself, or always in tears. And this has gone on for some time. Seek help. Sometimes the person is not recognizing. Not sometimes, many times. But if you recognize that this person, something has changed, then try and find them help. Also, you'll find someone talking alone now, all of a sudden, laughing alone. You can even find him like behaving like they're teaching somebody.
They are all alone, but they are busy. They are
all
laughing.
laughing. See some of these things, then you know that there might be a problem. Sometimes it could be drug use, and this could the disorder has not yet started, but those are alarm bells. Seek help for the person. So conditions like bipolar.
Miss Albert, don't you think there is quite a thin line between, because where I grew up from, we had parents whom you could find talking to themselves, but where should we say they also had some problems?
Now there is the normal soliloquying, talking alone, which is stress induced.
Yes. It's also stress induced.
School fees is in your now the salary has not come on time. Rent is there. So you start thinking aloud, but really what does a man do?
Thinking aloud.
Yes. But there is that normal one, stress, and somebody is just thinking aloud. But now when it becomes too much, you are seeing the person just talking alone.
All that time they are talking to themselves.
Yes, and even you will be able to say that, but this man. And then you will go and ask him, but Albert, who are you talking to? I was talking to so-and-so, but you know there is no one. There's a problem. There's a problem there. So anything that is out of the ordinary. For example, now, you just look at a parent. You see your child all of a sudden is very irritable. And defensive, angry, out of the blue. This is like new behavior. There is a problem.
It's just a strange behavior. They just start.
Yes. In most cases, that person may be using drugs. Irritable all the time. They are very defensive. Person is always annoyed. That kind of emotional switching. There could be a problem.
Mr. Albert, what should we say is the most predominant of all these categories of mental disorders as a practicing clinical psychologist? What category are you
the most common?
Yes, the most common, if I must say.
I would say mood disorders and substance-related disorders. That is depression, anxiety, chronic stress, and addiction.
Is there a way someone can, before it escalates, are there some daily habits they can adopt to mitigate this situation from escalating? Yes,
but you see, Joseph, for me, what is interesting is Ugandans do not actually lack information. Ugandans have this information. Nowadays, your information is the information is on your
it's always on the palm.
Yeah, they have, but the proactivity, that push, number one, we are told, or you're told, exercise regularly.
Physical exercise?
Physical exercise. Every day, at least 30 minutes of brisk walking, if you're a lazy man. 30 minutes. We struggle with that. Eat well. A Ugandan will get salary, and it's a pork festival. Chips, everything. The first 1 week.
Mr. But do you mean even the diet someone has something to do with their mental health?
It will affect you in so many ways. There are foods that aid your brain, first of all, greens, foods. But also, if you're eating these junk foods and you are gaining bad cholesterol, which is going to threaten your heart, or you get a stroke, that chronic illness alone, or you develop high blood pressure, We know that chronic illnesses, diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, are one of the leading causes of depression. You see? Anxiety. See? So it may not directly affect you at that point, but eventually you'll get these illnesses that will mess up with your mental health.
So what would you suggest? Someone has already noticed some of these symptoms, like you've just outlined. What would you suggest to, away from the diet, changing the diet and this physical exercise, what else would you suggest? Okay, I've noticed it on, perhaps if I must say, my dad has started misbehaving, has just started some weird behaviors I cannot understand. What should I say? What should I do?
Okay, before we even come to the control or the treatment, I think in terms of prevention, we should also try and build healthy relationships, supportive relationships. In my experience, I have found that isolation is one of the biggest recipes for some of these mental health challenges.
Isolation.
Yes, people get into trouble, are faced with challenging situations. There's no one to talk to, no one to support. So
some people take pride in being alone. They call themselves
stoicism or being stoic? How is it pronounced? Yeah, it is it's a patriarchal mentality or tradition, but we know that when you keep all the stress within, it festers and eventually you'll break down. You hear some people have gotten strokes. Why? Overthinking. So when you notice somebody and we have emphasized on building supporting networks, especially among those old people, get somebody they respect to talk to them. Get somebody they respect to talk to them, suggest professional help. I'll tell you that in our facilities we have treated people of 80, people in their 70s, 60s, with mental health challenges or mental illness. No one is a special statistic. Whether it is you, whether it's the president, a bishop, an imam.
Everyone is a potential candidate.
Equal opportunities. You don't clear your part of the street, you're going to develop any of those conditions. Any of those conditions.
I thought there would be perhaps an age bracket which is or can I say much more vulnerable?
Of course, it is usually the teenagers and young people, because they are the ones that are more prone to risky behavior over healthy behavior. They are more prone to experimentation. You're telling them this is not good for you, but
whatever you deny them,
yes,
it's what they want to go for.
Yes, and you know that the human brain is not fully developed till the age of 25, and because it's still immature, it is prone to different mental health challenges, including addiction, when somebody starts early. And early exposure also means somebody is very prone to developing some of these disorders I was mentioning, schizophrenia, bipolar, depression, et al. And of course also that young age comes with a lot of challenges. Nowadays we live in a world where young people we are all struggling with the screen issues, but it's more prominent among young people. So, and they live in an unrealistic world. There is competition, unrealistic comparisons, cyberbullying. All this messes up their mental health. Screen addiction, real problem. And now it is not helped by the fact that parents in these homes are also not modeling healthy behavior.
They have kind of become complacent.
They are complacent because you're going to now go into a person's home, on the dining table, mother, father, kids. They finish, thank you, they are going to the bedroom. Up to 3 a.m. somebody
is still awake.
People wake up, The first thing they do is check their phones. I have been to these international schools, universities. Kids are sleeping late. In the mornings, you're finding students sleeping in class, so many.
They spent the whole night on the phone.
Exactly. They're in all these groups online, playing different tricks on each other, accessing different material. It's a terrible time that we live in. So number one, parents have to model healthy behavior in terms of one, that kind of use of screen for the young people, and even in terms of resilience. Our young people nowadays get any problem they get, Google.
They Google.
Now, I mean, they ask AI, whichever AI people use. But you see, AI is going to give you a blanket response, devoid of human emotion. So you find that people are coming with academic, quote unquote, approaches to solving issues that need a sort of human approach, more emotional approach. So our children are growing up without the necessary resilience to handle today's challenges. And that's why we are seeing increasing numbers of suicide and mental breakdown.
Thank you so much, Mr. Albert. We will take a very, very short break, after which we will come back with our very last segment. Please keep it Uganda Catholic Television. Up next, we are coming back with this very segment, with this very show, with this very topic. Mr. Albert is still here with us. He's coming back with some of the solution. It's not yet too late. We can perhaps change that trend. My name is Joseph Kabale.
Are you 18 to 35 years old? Live your life to the fullest with the Center Evolution Youth Savings Account. With the Center Evolution Youth Savings Account, you get a free ATM card, no monthly charges, free bank drafts for school fees payments, and attractive interests. And that's not all. Enjoy access to financial literacy, entrepreneurship opportunities, and bank loans. Opening the Center Evolution Youth Savings Account is your ticket to a brighter future. For more information, please visit any of the nearest branches today or call our toll-free line 0800 200 555 or 0800 335 344.
Centenary Bank.
Zuku brings you the most thrilling and exciting entertainment. Enjoy amazing packages for as low as 12,000 shillings monthly with our smart package, which has over 60 channels, including ESPN, Nat Geo Wild, Baby TV, UCTV, Salam TV, and many more. Plus other packages of Smart Plus, Classic, Premium, and Asia. Get a decoder at 45,000 shillings and a full kit at 89,000 shillings. And enjoy a 1-month free premium package with amazing channels, including sports, movies, cartoons, and lots more. Zuku is available in all our dealer shops countrywide. Contact us for more information. Zuku, life got better.
Kuleza Farm with Centenary Bank, agribusiness solar loan of up to 50 million shillings for a solar-powered irrigation system on your farm. Enjoy a grace period tailored to your cash flows and loan offer amounts from 100,000 up to 50 million Uganda shillings with flexible loan periods up to 60 months. Apply for a Centenary Bank agribusiness solar loan through our branches, agents, and enjoy a fixed interest rate of just 1.7% per month. Kuleza Farm with Centenary Bank agribusiness solar loan today and watch your farming dreams come to life. Visit any of our nearest branch today or call our toll-free line 0800 200 555 or 0800 335 344.
Centenary Bank.
Centenary Bank is a member of the Center Group regulated by Bank of Uganda. Customer deposits of up to 10 million shillings are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Terms and conditions apply.
Well, our dear viewers of the Uganda Catholic Television, I want to welcome you back from that break. My name is Joseph Kabale, and we're still on to our topic, mental health crisis. I've been joined in the studios by Mr. Albert Elwa. He's a 10-year experienced practitioner, a counselor, a clinical psychologist, and also, what can I say? He's still with us in the studios, and he was still taking us through the various forms, what we can do about this, how can I say, this trend, this unprecedented trend of mental health. Now, I want to get us back to, you see, mental health among children, Mr. Albert. Some of our teenagers, some of our brothers today, they are so much obsessed, they are so much into phones, everything they have, keep it to themselves. As a parent, what can I do to identify when it is still early before the situation escalates? And when I note some of these symptoms, like we just highlighted in the previous segment, how can I manage the situation, Mr. Albert?
Yeah. Now, and I'm glad you've brought up the issue of phones and screens again. Now, one, these signs are pretty much very obvious. You see that your child's time is being quite dominated by the screen. You know? Every time you enter their room, they're on screen. Instead of doing their homework, they're on screen. Either they want to watch TV or they're on their phones or gadgets. Communication has become limited in the home.
They have become distant.
Yeah, exactly. People are no longer playing. When you see some of these things taking shape, there is a problem. There is a problem. And how do these things usually start, Joseph? Number one, I have seen several scenarios where a child is crying or throwing tantrums. Put for them the TV. Come and watch whatever. Have the phone.
Even when they are asking for something else?
Yes, they're throwing tantrums or whatever. So it has become a distraction. Parents want their whole own time. The screen. You see. So
somehow, Mr. Albert, somehow the parents are the ones showing them the road to mental health education.
Because how do children learn? Through observation, they watch. Through imitation, imitating what you do, and modeling. Through training. That is how children learn. So where are they observing this from? Who are they imitating?
The parents sometimes.
Yeah, or their friends outside. But you see, discipline or good behavior is first modeled at home. Many of us have left our parenting to schools. But you're not even certain what the kids are picking.
Like giving up all their parental duties.
That is a Christian school. They teach them that is what parents want. Christian school. Or that school is strict. But they are hanging with kids who have gadgets all the time, who are probably not being disciplined. And this is what they are bringing to your home. And you're also being forced to buy them gadgets because everyone there has. No. If you come and use your phone while on the dining table, your child is going to do that. If every time you're flipping channels, your child is going to.
The kid will do.
If you're using cartoons to distract your child, that is what they are growing into. The screen has become the #1 assistant parent. So what do? Let's model good behavior. We should #1 have what we call screen time. You can only have your gadgets from this time to this time. Then we should have screen-free zones. You cannot bring your screen to the table. You cannot take your phones to your bedrooms. After 8 p.m., all phones up here. But you have to be able to practice what you preach. These things of the parent.
Yes, you must be the very first one to comply with the rules.
Trust me, if you are doing that, your children are going to be able to adapt. But if you're also there on your phone and you're telling, they're going to ask, Daddy, what about you? How come mom is always on her phone? So you're sending contradictory information. You do this, but this side what? Exactly. So that conflicting information confuses the kid. And that is when you're going to find your kids are going to start using their screens in hiding, where you can't monitor. Secondly, there are also applications on phones. Kids control. Use some of these apps.
They should monitor the kind of applications on their phone, on the kids' phones.
Yes, and also be able to control, have an app on your phone where you can see what your kid is doing. Be able to track your kids' social media activity or internet activity. Limit what they can watch. I will tell you, there's a time I treated an 11-year-old for pornography, quote-unquote, addiction. 11-year-old.
An 11-year-old?
Yes. And
could be too young.
And this is not recently, this is about 4 years ago. And how did the person get exposed to this content? Music videos. That just drove
the music videos they watch.
Yes, he became more and more curious, started searching more and more, till he landed on some of this content. The problem is, as parents, we are looking at kids in our own lenses. This generation has evolved, it's different. Even our parenting should evolve.
It's a very dangerous generation.
Exactly, our parenting should evolve. You cannot use yesterday's parenting approach to manage today's
generation.
Yeah, generational crisis. So let us first model good behavior. Also look out for signs that something is getting out of hand.
Sir Albert, you've just hinted on addiction. Can you please take us through, because I understand it could be a very, very thin line between addiction and mental health.
Okay, let's first look at what is mental health. Being mentally healthy is just your ability to handle stress, remain.
It's not that you must be stress-free, but your ability
to handle stress. You have to be resilient in the face of adversity. You can handle life stressors. That is mental health. Now, we also have good mental health and bad mental health. You can have bad mental health without having a mental health disorder, a mental disorder or a mental illness. Bad mental health is your inability to cope with life, with daily stressors. You're frequently angry, you get so annoyed, small things
even at the slightest
mess you up.
Exactly. Friends.
Yeah, you get easily stressed. Things are not going to work, then you're going well at work, you decide not to go to work or at school. And just your inability to cope with the daily stressors. Good mental health, on the flip side, is your ability to cope with the stressors. Now, there are now what we call mental health disorders, challenges, illnesses. Look, what we were talking about earlier on,
depression,
major depression, those ones that have been clinically diagnosed, anxiety disorders, your inability to control your worry, the panic attacks, now schizophrenia, you're seeing things, addiction, your inability to control your use of substances or a certain behavior. So I hear people saying that one has mental health. If my health, if my mental state is healthy, good. I may have good mental health. But also having a mental health disorder does not mean you have bad mental health. Someone can have, for example, bipolar or schizophrenia, and they are on medication. They know how to take care of themselves. They are stable. They can handle these stressors in life. They are able to work and do all these things. They have the mental illness or disorder. They are living with it, but they have good mental health. You get it? That is the difference. So, addiction itself is a mental health disorder. It is our inability to stop using a substance.
To control our desire to use substances.
Yes, or behavior. Because addiction is not only for substances. There's addiction to pornography, addiction to gambling, sex addiction, there's the eating disorders, the variety of addictions, screen addiction. So our loss of control over our use of these activities or chemicals is what makes it a disorder. It's out of order. And that is why it gets to get...
Could there be a health addiction, if I must use the word?
Health addiction?
Like someone is addicted to something good, perhaps, say, getting addicted to perhaps physical exercise all the time they want to exercise.
You see, God created us in such a way that everything has to be done in moderation. If you are so addicted to exercises, well, it's supposed to have a positive outcome, your inability is going to wear you down. Muscle exhaustion, your spleen, all these things. Once it becomes an addiction or a disorder, why is it called a disorder? Because it is causing you distress and it's causing the people around you distress. You are always in the gym instead of going to make money. What are you going to eat? You cannot bite your own muscles. You're siring kids you cannot look after, but you're always like this. So by the time it is called an addiction or a disorder, it is causing significant distress to you, the person, and to others. But because of the phenomenon of denial, usually us, we are the last ones to see it, the people struggling. Or if we see it, we are also in denial. But the people around us become uncomfortable with whatever it is we are involved in. So now, addiction being a mental disorder can be genetic. Someone in your bloodline could have it. There are three factors that conspire to cause addiction. Genetics, which constitute, I think, up to 60%. Then availability.
Having all the time.
It's being available.
Oh, the availability of
yes,
that thing you're addicted to.
Yes, I think availability, and the third one, if I'm not mistaken, is affordability. I think availability, affordability, and genetics. Those are the three factors that conspire to cause addiction. Now, at any one time, any two of those three can conspire. It's available and it's affordable. Someone starts using. It's genetic, already it's in your system, and it's available, or it's affordable. So any two can conspire to cause addiction. So now when you have addiction, eventually it will mess up your mental health. Depression, anxiety, it can lead to bipolar, schizophrenia, or both of them, schizoaffective, Now, also, these disorders, like I said earlier, can also cause addiction. Somebody is depressed. They start drinking to cope. Then it goes overboard. Somebody is struggling with an anxiety disorder, constant worry. They start using whatever substance. Someone is struggling with bipolar or schizophrenia. They start smoking tobacco or weed, and it becomes an addiction.
Now, Mr. Albert, if I could take you away for a short time, could you please try to take us through the reasons as to why people these days, like the recent studies have been suggesting, people are no longer interested. They are not opening up. People are going through a lot, but they are not opening up. What could be the reason is as to why someone watching us could be a victim, knows they are struggling with mental health, but they cannot just walk to a mental health facility and seek help?
Okay. Quickly, I would look at number one, stigma And number two, I would look at misinformation. Now, stigma comes in two forms. One is subjective, that is internalized stigma. What I think about a problem. If I go and tell these people that I am seeing things, they'll say, I'm mad, ndimulalu, things like that. And then there is social stigma, what you have seen happening to others, what you have heard, and that what you know that your society perceives this problem as. So in many cases, stigma comes with a lot of shame, name calling. Someone is battling a mental health issue, they are saying that now there's witchcraft in that family, those people, you know, practice witchcraft, or that family was cursed, you know. So people label others, and then people will fear coming out. Stigma, actually I believe, is the number one barrier, because one, it leads to isolation. People will suffer in silence. Basically it perpetuates distress. Then you'll hear someone has committed suicide, and then it prevents early intervention. Many of these conditions, if you intervene early, it can be managed. With some even without, and somebody successfully gets off medication. But when you come to a point where it has really escalated, people may have to now remain on lifelong medication, you see.
When it is reported late.
When it's reported late. Now, and also that ties in my second point of misinformation. I have treated so many people, met so many people, that we want to bring our person, but we don't want you to give them that kind of medication. Because we are told that medication makes people get worse. The phrase is always now completely run mad. If we are told if they give those psychiatric medications, people are not going to be able to bear children. A lot of misinformation. Now,
so many myths.
Exactly. So I want to inform people that when you have any mental health condition, that medication is so helpful in regulating your brain chemicals and making you stable. Just like when you have any other chronic issue like diabetes or high blood pressure or whatever it is, you need medication in order to feel normal. And that is the same thing. Only that for us we tend to judge ailments that affect the upper part of the body, and we have normalized this one. Because we think that what affects the brain affects our normalcy. You see, but even that chronic illness you are talking of, if you have cancer today, you can go into a depression that really messes you up, stress that you can't handle. You see, so we should know that medication is there to help. Counseling is very helpful. I have heard so many people say that when people go into rehab, they come out worse. It's not that they come out worse. It's just the science of addiction. The brain operates in such a way that, first of all, addiction is incurable. Like now I have not used for 18 years. If I'm to drink, my brain will demand for alcohol of 18 years. So it will be a terrible relapse. Every day, imagine every day I'm thinking, I want to drink alcohol of 18 years. So it will be so bad that you'll hear people saying, Albert was even much better before.
Before getting it off.
Before getting off. Because now you have found the disease in a progressed state. Whereas I'm not using, that part of your brain that was affected by the disease of addiction keeps progressing even when you're not using. So you've been in rehab for 3-4 months. You're not using. Then you come out and you relapse. You're going back to a brain that is progressed. So the demand will be higher. It doesn't mean that rehab does not work. It just means the brain is progressed.
That's where that narrative comes from, that when someone goes into a rehab, they come out worse.
Yes, that's where it comes from. But I'm not saying that all rehabs do what they are supposed to do. There are good rehabs with professional services, And then there are makeshift rehabs that are messing up with people's lives. There's a difference. Thank God now the ministry is almost coming up with standards. Regulations hopefully will also come in very soon. One of the biggest issues we have is that our rehabs are not regulated.
Anyone can just wake up one morning,
And start a rehab, employee. We have so many wrong stories coming in from rehabs. So it's the misinformation. But make no mistake, we have very good rehabs. Very good rehabs. I know, of course I speak for ourselves. I know that we are very professional, focus on recovery, good job.
Focus on recovery.
Yes, but I also know that there are few others whose activities I know, whose processes I know that are doing a good job as well. You know, yeah. So the misinformation is also a leading cause of people not going in for treatment.
Mr. Albert,
the stigma.
Perhaps before we go much more about misinformation, you talked about stigma, or you were inviting as members of the public, someone watching, that not to judge, not to be judgmental to these people struggling with mental health. Beyond that, beyond keeping quiet, beyond respecting these people and understanding, trying to understand their situation, what else can we do as a neighbor, perhaps as a neighbor, having someone I know who is struggling, what can I do?
Okay, yes, like you say, let us treat people with compassion and respect. Let us learn to listen without judgment. But beyond that, the individual approach, of course, with treating people with respect and compassion, when you know someone struggling, talk to them, support them, try to guide them towards help. Help them understand that this is a condition that is normal and treatable. Now, beyond the individual interventions, we also need institutional interventions. Churches, government, community-based organizations. Let us include mental health into every aspect of our lives. Compassion preaching in churches. I have heard of spiritual counseling, good. But let us also differentiate between the spiritual issue and the psychological issues. Involve professional interventions within the church system, where we have counselors in churches, psychologists in churches. Usually I tell people that the winning combination in dealing with addiction and other mental challenges is science and God. Science will give you the answers, but God gives you the solution. So let us give science a place. The medication, the psychological interventions, the detoxification et al. And let us also give God his place. So the churches, then government, let us inculcate mental health into our educational curriculum, right from primary. Help people understand what is stress, what is trauma, what is this, addiction, what does it lead to, how do so that people grow up and make informed decisions.
Sure.
That will help us fight stigma. The media, thank you for this. Become our partners. Positive information. Let us spread more of recovery stories than the tragic ones. You know that for every case of suicide, there are about 9 photocopies or attempts. You know? So as opposed to over-reporting about the negative aspects, I see after a festive season, I see so many cases of people recorded very drunk, falling here and there. But those are the
even after Valentine's Day celebrations.
Yes, but how many
people report much about heartbreaks and all that stuff? So
why don't we also focus on the people who enjoyed Christmas in a healthy way? I like that, yes, you show church services and what, but social media is also awash with so many negative stories, but even mainstream media. Let us try to focus more on the positive stories, stories of recovery, resilience, people who have overcome, treatment approaches, what is working. You know, we shall go ahead in promoting treatment, pushing back against stigma, and let us break these myths in our cultures. Because they are telling you there are areas in this country where you'll go and say someone is seeing things, and the first thing they are going to talk about is exorcism.
Exorcism.
We have to cast out that spirit.
This kind of mindset.
Yes. So we need to go through a mindset change. So let us educate our people, community organizations. Include aspects of mental health in your programs. So whereas we need an institutional approach, an individual approach, we also need an institutional approach as a country.
Mr. Albert, as we run out of time, I can see we are running out of time. You had so much. But before we conclude, what could you have for someone watching us at the Uganda Catholic Television? I need some message to perhaps a victim. Or I don't know how I should call them, but these people struggling. Yes, these people struggling.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Can they get free of this addiction and these disorders? Your message, and perhaps to the public.
Yes, to anyone out there who is listening, who is struggling, or who knows anyone is struggling. Number one, it's okay to ask for help. Addiction and all these other mental health conditions are treatable. There is help out there. And not all of them need medication. But in case you're told you need medication, it is okay. So first thing, talk to a loved one. Open up to somebody you trust. Somebody who has your confidence. Seek professional help. And to us, also who are observing others, reach out to someone you think is struggling, where you're seeing some of the signs that show that someone's mental health may be struggling. Anything out of the ordinary calls for caution or more investigation. Reach out to the person. Ask how they are. Go to your neighbor who you haven't heard from in days. Find out how they are. How are they coping with life? What is new? So let us check on other people. Let us support each other. Let us give a listening ear. And let us try to direct people towards professional help. And one, let's keep healthy. Let's try to exercise as much as possible. Let us try to sleep enough. Let's eat well. Use your phones in a healthy manner. Search for some of these things, how to deal with some of these conditions.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Albert. It has been a pleasure having you, and I'm sure it was such an insightful discussion. As you've rightly heard, our dear viewers of the Uganda Catholic Television, it takes two to tango. This is not something that is the end. We cannot say if you're struggling, this is the end. He insists mental health disorders are treatable. My name is Joseph Kabale. You can catch this very conversation on all our social media platforms. We thank you so much for joining us. Allow me in this discussion tonight. We love you so much. Please keep it Uganda Catholic Television. Up next are so many important and spiritually enriching programs. For now, allow me say goodbye to you. And allow me as well thank Mr. Albert. Thank you so much for making time.
Pleasure is all
mine. Forward to having you here.
Pleasure
back
is all
again.
mine.
For now,
and give them our phone number.
Yeah, perhaps before we break off, here's something. You know, is the executive director. He's the executive director of
Focus on
Recovery.
Uganda.
Yeah, it is such an important occasion that you share some of this. How people, someone watching us, can reach you.
Yes, so you can check us out on social media. You can search for Focus on Recovery at Homes 4. But you can also take my number 0773 001 684 or 0755 083 017. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Albert. Yeah, I think we've had the very best of night. As you've rightly heard, it is not the end. You can still make it. It is treatable. You see, working out and opening up is not a sign of weakness, but rather a demonstration of bold responsibility. Step up, work to focus, and perhaps you'll be helped. My name is Joseph Kabale. I wish you a very good night.